The good people over at Rockpool Publishing just sent me another gift. It is this awesome deck, Priestess Moon Deadly Apothecary Oracle. I'm very interested to see what this is about. I don't know, other than looking at it right now with you guys. I don't know what this is, and I'm looking forward to it. So, wow. It feels beautiful. It feels like it has like a matte, like it feels like satin. It feels beautiful to touch. So, let's get started. My name is QueenAusetHeru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button and smack the bell. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and pass it on to anyone and everyone who will like this deck too. Please drop us a positive comment in the comment section. And if you want to get a reading done, please email me or hit me up on social media. I would love to give you a reading. Let's see. Underneath this video at the very top, I will put a link to where you can get a legitimate copy of this deck. And let me see. I think that's it. Now, the cool part is it has finger holes. Y'all know I love a finger hole. Makes it much easier to open up the box. Oh, wow. Pretty colors. Let's see what this is about. This is interesting. I have no idea what to expect. I am really curious. Let's get this out of the way for a sec. Let me show you the guidebook. All right. All right, so the guidebook is in full color. And there is some spreads in the front of it. And it's not long. The entries are very short. So if you're somebody who's like, I don't like to read a lot in the guidebook, that is not too much to read. And you know I always recommend checking out the guidebook. Here is our deck. What does it say? No on poisonous plants. Oh, wow. Okay. So be very careful, you guys. Wow. All right, I'm going to take it out of the paper that it's in. I'm going to take one card and show you the back of it. Pretty. I'm going to look at it from the side. Not too thick, not too thin. Look at the card itself. It has a, it's not glossy, but there's definitely a glare on it. Look at this, guys. It's edged in red. That's really sexy. All right, so let's take a look at our poisonous plants. Let's pull it out. So there's a number here. There's a keyword. And I guess this is the summary. Soul contracts would be that one. All right, so when we're done, we're going to take a look at one of these and see exactly what it's talking about. And this is actually good because, see, I don't know any of these plants. So I need to be aware. I don't know any of these. Or maybe I do know some of these. Trust that feeling. Hemlock. Yeah, that sounds familiar. So maybe I do know some of these. I just didn't know they were under poisonous plants. Drop the drama. Okay. Excuse me. I like the key expressions at the bottom. Open your mind. I like that a lot. The artwork is pretty interesting. I'm not seeing a lot of diversity in the artwork. I would love, you guys know I love that. I love to see racial diversity, age diversity, size diversity, all the diversity. I love it. So I would like to see a lot more than that. I'm not getting these, all these beings seem to be exactly the same. So they're all going to be roughly the same. Open your heart. With different messages and different herbs. I didn't know Lily of the Valley was poisonous. I have seen that before. Okay, so I do know some of these. Courage. And I just didn't know that they were poisonous. So this is helpful. It's extremely helpful. So again, this is the kind of deck that you, because you have your spread in the beginning of this, or you can find your own spreads too. You can use these to do a reading by themselves. they have very hard hitting expressions here. So this would be, I think, a very blunt reading. I like that. The cards aren't too big. They're not too small. They're a decent size for, you know, regardless of what size your hands are. That's good too. The art is very unusual. It looks to me like it's like the energy of the plant. I think that's what that looks like to me. And maybe it's shaped like the plant too, because they're all different shapes too. So that's what I'm thinking. Maybe this could be helpful if it is, because if I see them out in nature, I'll be, you know, I'll recognize the shapes. Look at her. Wow. The clothing is really beautiful. Sovereign boundaries. Yeah, so these would be great for doing a reading. These would be great. See, she's a little brown lady. See, that's what I mean. I want to see more people, you know. Oh, for the cannabis. You know something? That makes me very excited. And seeing cannabis as a healer, I love that. That's my favorite card. We're going to read this one. When we're done, we're going to read this one. Beautiful. The black background is cool. Love the fact that there's no border. Great touch. That lets the art really, you know, dominate the whole card. This is another one that you can use for altar work. You can use for, you know, putting on the altar and using for meditation. Great for journaling, of course. Of course, great for daily pulls. And remember, I was talking about spreads. You could use any spread for this. I would do probably like a spiritual spread with these. Wow, they're so they're so like, I don't know, they're like otherworldly looking. The guru, yeah, they're otherworldly looking. Share your light. Opium poppy. Reminds me of Game of Thrones. They were always taking something with Poppy. I can't remember what it was called. Belladonna, accept your fate. I remember somebody was poisoning. It was an old true crime story about a woman who owned a perfume shop in like the 17 or 1800s. And she was using belladonna and helping women get rid of their husbands with it. Very morbid story. I remember that. I think it was on Briefcase. One of the channels out here on YouTube is called Briefcase. One of my favorite channels. Ooh, witchcraft. Okay. This deck is very unique. I've never seen anything like this. So I'm very interested to do a reading with this deck. This is kind of cool. Because as I'm reading the herbs and, you know, the key expression underneath, I'm just like, these have some very interesting ones. Obsession. Very interesting concepts that you don't usually see. Away with the Fae. Yeah, these are ones I don't see very often. And I love that about Oracle decks. Because in an Oracle deck, you can really cover whatever you want to cover. You know, whatever topics. I love that. Narcissists. Walk away. Now, I did nutmeg. I could have sworn I'm eating nutmeg. Manifesting. I know I've had nutmeg and eggnog or something like that before. I'm going to have to look at that. Castor bean. So maybe certain ones are not poisonous. I got to look it up. Now they've gotten me really curious. Hemlock. Psychic protection. Okay. Holly. Allow wealth. Beautiful. Oh, that's what holly is for? We see that at Christmas time. I didn't know that's what it was for. Okay. Very educational deck, I see. Yeah, the only thing this deck lacks is diversity. I only saw one person that was brown. And I would love to have seen about 10 or 15 more differences like that. That was cool. Some older people would be cool. So yeah, smack some diversity in this puppy. And I think that would be perfect. And that's number one. Yeah, that's number one. We're back at one. Okay, so I want to look at my favorite card. because I like this. I like this a lot. I want to see if they did justice with our healing aspect of cannabis. Because I don't think, yeah, because cannabis isn't poisonous. So all of these can't be poisonous. And I'm sure I've eaten nutmeg before. Let's take a look. Cannabis. Okay, so its botanical name is Cannabis sativa. Energy, healing, and dreamlike. Other names: Bahang, ganja, hemp, marijuana, and weed. Traditional medicinal uses. It is used medicinally to help aid sleep and reduce physical pain. Magical historical uses. In ritual settings, it can be smoked to produce prophetic dreams, prophetic visions, and receive messages from the spirit realm. When used inappropriately, it will cause paranoia and demotivation. Okay, I like that. Okay. The poison. The disempowered cannabis is easily overwhelmed and suspicious of everyone, the mindset of which is partly because they have a habit of playing the victim. They are stuck in childhood wounds and tend to overreact to many things, citing a painful past. Prone to self-pity and asking, why me? Cannabis believes the world owes them a living. They give their power away by too often identifying with their human ego and forget that they are a limitless, shining spirit. The antidote. Cannabis has the potential to become a powerful healer once they have completed their shadow work. But for now, they are stuck in habitual responses like a recording on repeat. They can do the following things with intention, which will start the healing process. Shine a light on all the yucky stuff, such as the shadows, so they may be brought to the surface to be healed. Stop redefining themselves by their past and release the wounds from childhood, and understand that they and they alone are responsible for their life. These processes will release cannabis from feeling overwhelmed and usher them into a new way of being as a healer. So according to this, right, for each one, the poison is what is happening in the person's life in their card. The antidote is how they can counteract this. So if a person's acting like this, doing this is how they'll be able to counteract it. So that's interesting. And it doesn't say anything about it being poison, so I think I was right about that too. So that's interesting to me. Let's take a look at another one. I'm very curious about how they did this deck. Let's just grab any old one. Here, let's look at Angel's Trumpet. Open your mind. It's number 5. They're easy to find in a book, I'll tell you that. You pull right to it. All right, so this one, I'm not going to say the botanical name. I'm just going to show it to you. Because I wouldn't be able to say that. Okay? The energy of this particular Angel's Trumpet. Okay, what's the energy? Flighty and ethereal. Other names, Angel's Tears. Traditional medicinal uses. It was used in ointments as a pain reliever and anti-inflammatory. Magical historical uses. It symbolically represents the resurrection and life after death. In ancient times, it was used in rituals for its euphoric and hallucinogenic properties to contact spirits. Okay. Angel has closed their mind and believes only in what they can see, hear, and touch. Things must be scientifically proven before given any credibility. Angel smirks when people bring up subjects such as life after death or communication with spirits because they are highly skeptical of any spiritual nonsense and believe this makes them a very intelligent and logical person. A little skepticism is healthy. Outright cynicism is not. Angel shields their mind to delicious possibilities when all they really need to do is trust and open their mind to new ways of thinking. Okay, so it looks like to me each one of them has something negative. It looks like, yeah, something negative that's going on with each card. And then the antidote tells you how to fix whatever that is. Got it. Okay, this is great for shadow work then. Or somebody who's dealing with their shadows. This might be great for that person to see what they're really doing and how to fix it. All right, so if this person is acting like this, how can they fix it? The antidote. The human body is a vehicle that we drive while on this planet. It houses the eternal soul, which continues to live on once the human host dies. This is not false hope. The survival of consciousness after physical death is close to being scientifically proven with inventions such as the soul phone. Angel can be open to the idea that life goes on even when the physical body doesn't. They will awaken to this knowledge when the time is right, and it will bring them much peace and understanding. Okay. I love it. Oh, you know something? My only problem with it, like I said, is really the artwork. I feel like it should be much more diverse. But I like the concept of this deck because I have other decks that have this kind of shadow aspect to it. And I think this is a great addition to anything that deals with shadow. So this is really good. And each one of them is a different thing that could be causing problems. Walking away, somebody psychically attacking you. All of these are problems and the antidotes to how to fix them. So I like this. I'm going to put underneath, like I said before, the link to where you can purchase a copy of these. If you like them, please come back soon because I have a lot more to say. See you later.